You're also alive, you know that, right?
Hey.
Hi. First of all, my boobies are.
They're out.
They're really out.
They were out. They were out today.
They are trying to be seen.
Yes.
They are here.
They are part of the morning routine.
Let's close some stuff up. There we go. Oh, hey.
What's happening?
Hi. So we wanted to do a live today. Okay, he's just touching things now.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
There we go.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's live with the Consuls.
Oh, yeah.
Today we're going to be talking about... Hi, Felicia. Today we're going to be talking about processing feelings for the first time, and we're also going to go over some morning routine stuff. So if y'all have questions around morning routine, if you've been hearing people talking about morning routine and you're like, what are they talking about? We're going to cover some of that stuff today. So
how long are we talking today? Is this a 10-minute conversation or are we going to go longer today?
No, we're going to go a little longer than 10 minutes. So we're going to try to keep it at no more than 20 minutes, okay? Because I know some of y'all at work, you're doing your countdown to 5 o'clock. If that's you, you can use this little break, plug in your headphones and just listen to us share some insights. So if you watched our last live video, you've learned that JP has been going through some of his feelings and facing some of his feelings for the first time. Babe, why don't you share with us a little bit about what that process has been like for you?
It's crazy. They put my hair out. No, it's been interesting to say the least. Lots of learning how to identify a lot of emotions and truly understanding what it is that they mean. You know, these feelings actually are trying to tell us something. And for pretty much forever, it's been kind of like, not now. I'll talk to you later feelings. And they're like, actually, we need to talk. We really need to talk. Like all the other times, we didn't need to talk, but we need to talk like right now. So.
What has been the hardest part for you about going through your feelings? And if y'all are watching us and you have questions about, it is a little toasty. Hey everyone, if you're just joining us, JP and I are talking today about processing your feelings for the first time. He's kind of going through a lot of his feelings for the first time right now. So I've been working,
everybody in front of everybody.
We've been working them together.
Live in all his glory right here.
So we wanted to share some of that stuff with y'all. We figured you would find it helpful. If you have questions about going through your own feelings, drop them in the comments below. And then we are also going to talk about morning routine. But JP was starting to tell us a little bit about his experience. What has been the most challenging part for you about going through your feelings for the first time?
Just that it takes time. That's not something I can have a solution to overnight. As much as I want to solve this problem right now, where's the answer? I can't Google this shit and get the answer I need. So just having to be patient in this season and give myself grace, right?
Yes.
Right. That's been the probably the biggest challenge so far.
What has helped you the most so far?
You, this motherfucker right here. Y'all should get one. Y'all should get one of these. Like if y'all can find one like this. I don't know if they make this model anymore. But go back to Honduras and check. See if they got some more. I can show you the village with a search.
Is that a control? Come on, what has helped you the most?
So no, seriously, it's been having someone who's gone through this journey. This is her channel, so you guys know she's really good at communicating her feelings and walking through that whole process. I haven't been so much, but I knew that one day I would need to, and that this one right here was gonna hook me up, and that's been the biggest help because I don't have to go find this out on my own. I can just be like, hey, babe, I need help. What do I do? And she's been great.
What has been the piece of information that has really helped you the most so far where you are right now?
Some of the pieces is probably a technique to be more present. What I struggle with is a lot of thinking in the future, thinking about my future goals, the accomplishments, these check boxes that I've put out there for myself, and not being present when I'm spending time with you or watching something, or even when I'm supposed to be focused on some other work and not thinking in the future about other work that needs to be done. So that will be that piece.
What have we, like, I know we talked a lot about the future. A lot of us are always thinking about the future because we see hope in the future. In one of the books I'm reading now, The Power of Now, Eckhart Tolle, who's the author, he talks about the future gives us hope, because if we think it's going to be better than the present, we feel more hopeful about the future, because we're like, oh, in the future, things are going to be different. Things are going to be better. But when we think the future also has the power to give us anxiety, because if you think the future is going to be worse than what it is right now, you are also going to feel those feelings, and then you're going to be like, oh my God, the future is going to be worse than the present.
Oh my God.
This is terrible. This is terrible, right? So tell me a little bit about, like, I want you to get a little bit about your like, why is it, are you getting anxiety or are you getting hope? What's going on with you?
Am I getting anxiety or am I getting hope? Is that one of Barack Obama's slogans? Anxiety.
I don't know, anxiety or hope. What do you got?
So you asked me a question. Did I think I was going to be successful the other day? And I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to be successful. So I think it's more so adding the anxiety because I have that timeline and I want to get there by a certain time period. And I got a number of dollars in my bank account, and if that runs out and if I don't get there, it's kind of, looking at that like a failure type deal. So, and then just looking at things in the future, like thinking about future work that needs to be done. Like Saturday is our off day, and I found myself, maybe not this Saturday, but like last Saturday, we went and played, and after I got done hooping, like there's a barrier between like the park and the parking lot. And as soon as I stepped in the parking lot, my brain switched to, all right, what work are we doing the rest of the day? So being able to catch that and be like, no, we are actually still having fun right now. The work will take care of itself later.
If you're relating to JP in any way, if there's anything,
let us know.
Please drop it in the comments. Like, we want to know if this is resonating with you, if you want us to go in another direction with this conversation. Like, this is really to help you. So please let us know in the comments if this is hitting any points with you. So the future gives you anxiety, but to me, it kind of gives me hope though. Like, I think when I look at when I spend time in the future now, before it used to give me anxiety, but now the future gives me hope. It's kind of like, I look at the future and I'm like, okay, well, in the future, things are going to be a little bit different. So I'm hopeful about the future. Now, the interesting thing that Eckhart Tolle talks about when he says about the future is whether you're getting hope or whether you're getting anxiety from the future, at the end of the day, neither one of those both things that you're getting are keeping you from being here in the now, in the present. And we're probably going to get into a whole conversation about the present in a different video, because there's so much to talk about that. And a lot of people don't even know what that means or where to even begin with that. So we're probably going to spend some time on unpacking that later. But for today's purposes, I did want to share that if the future gives you hope or if the future gives you anxiety, either way, when you are feeling that anxiety, when you are feeling that, holding on to that hope, you're not in the now. And the one thing that I want you to walk away with is that all you have is this moment right now. Like, I'm grateful that you're here watching this live with us, because you could be doing anything and you're choosing to be here with us. So, oh, hey, Darnell. You're choosing to be here with us. So I'm really grateful for that. And I think a lot of us take for granted the now because we see our lives as a means to an end, which is what Eckhart Tolle talks about. Were you seeing your life as a means to an end? Like, were you seeing these days as just, this is just time right now while I get to my next goal? Is that how you were looking at it?
I don't know if I have a next goal after. So I want to have a certain comfort level by 35, have kids, but I haven't necessarily thought about too much after that. And with the anxiety, with me, it's like short term. Like long term, I'm like, yeah, I want to be good, so no worries. But it's like short term, until we get to that point, what's going on?
As a business owner, because I know a lot of y'all have businesses and you want to have a business. We're doing great, Darnell. Thank you for asking. We are sharing some of the stuff that we are going through right now. So particularly around our emotions and anxiety and stress, but also relieving that and coming to terms with our own emotions. So how important has it been to have a morning routine in this process?
So it's been important to not do my morning routine recently. I know, scandalous, right? So I typically do my morning routine every day.
What's your morning routine?
So my morning routine is I wake up in the morning and I read a manifesto, which is just some overall guidance for my day and my life, things that I'm working on, my goals. I have a vision board. So I have it on slideshow or PowerPoint, and I read through that every morning. And then I also run down a daily plan where I write out the things I'm going to do every hour of the day. So from 6 or not 6, I don't get that early. So from like 8 o'clock to pretty much 10 o'clock, writing out what I'm going to do each hour. Then also writing on what I'm going to be grateful for the day, the things I plan on doing, and what will make today a great day. Then usually, have breakfast, coffee, workout, shower, and then get into the work day, which is typical of my daily plan. But we're about to add some meditation to that as well.
So my morning routine is a little bit different, but kind of pretty much similar. We do similar stuff, but we like to have our space. So we together but separate. I do wake up, I read my manifesto, much better about that these days. Then I work out. After my workout, I'm fully awake and alert. Then I take a shower, then I have breakfast, then I meditate. Meditation has been really helpful, and I think we probably should do a whole video on meditation so that people understand what it really is. Because even for you, as you were looking to use meditation, it was like, what is this thing? Like, I don't really get it fully. So let us know if you want to see something on meditation. So I meditate. Meditation really gives me a space to put my mind at ease, like give it a break. Like the mind is always thinking. Like, are y'all always thinking? Do you always feel like you don't have any breaks from thinking? Like you're constantly thinking, no matter how hard you try not to think, you are thinking. Is that you? Drop something and then let me know that this is connecting. So I'm the same way. Like I used to feel like I'm always thinking. I used to wonder, man, like it would be so cool if I could just stop thinking for a little bit. Like, can you stop thinking? And people would tell me like, no, you can't stop thinking. People can't stop thinking. The mind doesn't stop. And it turns out those people were not meditating. So since I've been meditating, I've been able to really seize some of the thinking that's going on in the mind so that I can experience more peace with myself. And a lot of us are constantly looking to distract ourselves because we want to quiet the thinking mind. You want to watch TV, you want to play video games. Drugs usually come up in this time. There's all these things that happen because people want to, oh hey man, yes. People want to move on to the next thing, or they're trying to distract themselves from that feeling of like the mind thinking all the time. So meditation really helps with that because it's a space that you have designed just to stop thinking, just so that you can monitor what's going on in your mind. And how many of you give yourself that space on a regular basis? Rarely. Like some people, you don't have time for that. You got kids, husband, wives, partners,
goals
house
to accomplish,
jobs, businesses to run. Like you don't have time for this. However, you actually don't have time not to make it for it. Like it's so important that you take that time to meditate. So I have meditation in there. I also journal. Journaling is a big part of my practice. I talk about journaling a lot. Y'all already know I'm always raving about journaling, but it really has given me a space where I can mentor myself in the future. How cool is it when you pick up a book and you're like, oh, I wonder if I could use this book for myself. And then you pick up your journal and it's really for you. Like it's literally a book created for you. So it absolutely changes the game. Okay, we have a comment. With working from home, my schedule is all over the place, but I'll probably be more productive if I don't want a routine. Okay, so we also work from home. And I remember when I used to have a traditional 9 to 5, working from home was hard to stick to the routine because you get out of the bed, you grab the computer. Sometimes you don't even get out of the bed. You just grab the laptop and you put it on your phone. And you start checking emails.
Still in the bed, like
what's going on? And you working from home, so you feel like you can take your time a little bit.
Yeah.
Because you're working from home, so you're like, I could put this down at any minute because I'm working from home. But you end up doing more work. When you used to work from home, did you find that you were working more from home than you were working more when you were working from home than when you were at the office?
No.
Well, I did. I found that because it was less distractions for me.
At least not on when I was working from home, I was working on my whatever I had to do for work, so I could quickly get to my stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense. So if you're working from home, having a morning routine would absolutely help you. It will help you have a more productive day. And after the journaling, then I begin my day, right? I also do this thing where I don't block things in my calendar before 10:30. Like there's no one can book time with me before 10:30 so that I can have that time for myself. Now, I know some of y'all may be watching this and you're like, Nori, I can't block my calendar before 10:30 so people don't book time with me. But you can find some time that you can have for yourself.
And yours is only 10:30 because we don't wake up.
I don't wake up till later anymore.
So if you're waking up at 6, you can wake up a little earlier and get that
till 9.
Yeah, get that time in you need to start your day off right with your daily routine.
Absolutely. So with JP going through his feelings and is starting to do this, how has that shifted our mornings?
Well, since I haven't been, so part of the routine and part of probably that's stressing me out is at the end of the day, I go back and I review all the things that I said I was going to do that I wrote down. And at the end of the day, of the things that I said I was going to do, if I didn't do, well, my voice in my head is like, you didn't do the things you said you're going to do. Why haven't we accomplished our goals? You could do better than that. And yes, all that is possibly true, but that voice isn't serving a good purpose. It isn't bringing any value to the table because it's just causing anxiety and stress. But I get the underlying reason that voice is saying that because, there are these things that I've said I wanted to accomplish and these goals that I'm trying to reach. But at the same time, as Bay just said, the thinking all the time and thinking when you're supposed to be resting about the business or whatever it is, it's not healthy. And, I could see why people have mental issues because, I'm a person who's, I would say, highly resistant to stress. And this is how I'm feeling right now. I can just imagine how other people feel when they're going through similar situations.
When you talk about like the intense level of this, and that's when I'm so grateful that you brought that up because a lot of us don't think about how intense, actually we do think about how intense this could be, and we allow our fear of feeling the feelings and facing the things that have to come from the feelings to keep us from receiving the reward on the other side after you go through the feelings. And it's been a really powerful journey for us as a couple because working with JP in this capacity is new. We've been together for almost 8 years.
She said what did you say last night?
I said, I'm just now getting to know him.
Think about that.
You can be with someone for 8 years and you can just now start to know him and know her. And it's really knowing those feelings because people can be so good at hiding their feelings that you can be sharing a bed with someone and not know what's going on in that bed because that person is not opening up about their feelings. So it could be a really, you may be wondering, how did you wait so long to deal with this? Well, I was going through my own shit. So, and JP seems really self-sufficient.
I'm still, just because I hide my emotions doesn't mean I'm not a nice guy. There are some things that I don't hide my emotions with. It just kind of depends on if it gets in the way of what I'm trying to do.
If you think it gets in the way, it's going to be.
At one point in time, when we first met, I was like, I don't want a girlfriend because that's going to get in the way of me accomplishing college or finishing college and achieving those goals. I knew that one day I wanted to get married and all that, but it was kind of not right now.
As you prepare yourself to kind of go through your feelings, I think it's important for you to be available to the fact that you won't really know what's gonna feel like to go through this process, and it's okay to think to know that that's gonna happen, that you don't know, but you don't have to worry about it because you won't be able to do anything about it until you get into it. You won't be able to do anything about the feelings until you start acknowledging them so that they can go away. And I found that once you acknowledge the feelings, it is so much easier for them to go away. Has that been your experience? Or to at least to release the hold they have on you?
We're working on it.
He's working on it.
We're working on it.
He's working on it. So some people might be watching this and they're wondering, as a couple, how are y'all able to do this? Like, I don't know if I can do this with my partner. Like, what are your thoughts on that? What would you tell them?
You gotta not be scared to be vulnerable, to You have to be willing. We talked about this a little bit yesterday. Willing to accept whatever it is that's gonna come of this. Yes. Once again, when we don't have information, we get scared. We get uncomfortable. I, personally try to challenge myself, and I know that when I'm starting to get uncomfortable, when my fingers start tingling and I get a certain sensation, like, all right, the force is telling you to back away, but you know that you need to be actually drawn closer to that. So once again, that's an emotional thing, being willing to explore. So being willing and knowing that it's not going to be comfortable, but on the other side, there are the things that you actually want in your life.
Absolutely. And the one thing I would add to that is when you're going through it and you're facing these emotions, and I think I talked about this during the last video we did together, is understand that your body is reacting to your mind. So if you feel stressed and your body starts giving you signals, that's your body telling you that something in the mind has triggered it to become stressed. You yourself aren't stressed. That situation has been stressful in the past, and you are now accepting that this situation is stressful right now as well. Now, the mind does that because the mind is kind of lazy. Like, it just wants you to use as little energy as possible. Like, you're really just probably designed to survive. Like, anything more than that, you need to be pushing yourself actively to do that, because it's pretty easy to be like, I ain't trying to let a day. I'm trying to chill. My needs are met. Like, I'm not trying to go out of my way. And that's because your mind is designed to just do just enough. But you can do way more than that. But you're going to enjoy just doing a little bit of that. So I think as you go through this process, understand that your body is showing you what's happening in the mind. So when those signals show up in your body, know that that is your mind at work. So anything that's in your mind, you learn that, which means that you can unlearn it. And if you start unlearning things, you'll be much better able to process your feelings and develop a routine that really fits for you. With JP going through his feelings, one of the things I'm faced now is to be available with him. And sometimes that doesn't mean that it's not what I put on my to-do list, but it's understanding that he's the most important part right now, and the to-do list will be there. And I think a lot of us often feel like the to-do list is more important than life. And then we end up wondering how come we didn't enjoy our lives, but we've been worried about the to-do list. You check that thing off though, whatever it was. You check that off. So we wanted to come on and share some of that insight with y'all. If y'all have any questions about the morning routine, let us know. I know we didn't really get too much into depth in that, and it's because you have to figure out what works for you. We can give you pointers, find a time. First, you already have a morning routine, whether you know it or not. There's already a list of things that you do in the morning.
Looking at the time, hitting the snooze button, and getting back into bed.
Checking the phone, clicking on Insta or something, right, and then putting it back down, snoozing. Like, you already have a morning routine. It's more about taking your current morning routine and tailoring it to what you need. A lot of us use the word intentional. It's about being intentional about your morning routine. Like, do you need to wake up earlier to have enough time for the things you want to do? You can reflect. Pete talks about reflecting. I journal. We both meditating now, getting something active in, like really starting the day with you first so that you can then show up for other people. I find that it adds a whole nother layer of excitement and gratitude and joy for my day, as opposed to the days that I feel like I don't know for me today because I've been busy doing things for everybody. So I think that probably really help you a lot in your journey. So in our next video, I think we're going to talk about, can't remember. But something, what to watch besides watching the news. What to do besides watching the news.
Good one.
What to do besides watching the news. Because we are really big at not watching the news. So
we know what's going on already. Let me guess. Trump is still president.
Yep.
There's a bunch of people running against him.
Yep.
Right? Just like
30 people.
Same stuff still going on.
And so we're going to share why we don't watch the news. And then we're going to tell you what we're watching when we're not watching the news. How about that?
All right.
If y'all need any more info, hit it down there in the comments. And we are going to be doing this a lot more frequently.
Yeah,
so
I like this right
don't
here.
be surprised when you see it.
Yeah. We get my people up here too. We're going to get my computer and get on the camera, and we can do them both. So yeah.
All right. So Enjoy the rest of your day.
The sun is trying to hide.
I know the sun is like
little darkers over here.
We are gonna see you guys next time. We're doing this every other day right now. So
well, we can do tomorrow if you like. If Bay's up for it.
We'll see. But if you enjoy learning from us, let us know. And if you want to hear more about the resources we're using, we can probably also share that with you. We can do a little book review things for y'all too, so you can see what we're doing and how JP's working through some of this stuff.
Yeah, I like that.
You like the idea?
Yeah, some more ideas just popped up.
That's the idea. That's the idea, like radar. What else do you want to share with the people?
I'm hungry. Do you guys want to know that? Was that helpful on your morning routine?
What's the next thing you're working on right now?
Right now, I'm working on a Shopify website right now for one of my clients. And then I'm also working on taking some time for myself. So I'm going to play basketball this afternoon.
Yes.
So.
And how else are you incorporating doing more fun things? Y'all need to have more fun. Maybe that needs to have more fun.
So I've never played an instrument.
Okay.
So I bought a keyboard. No, it's like a mini keyboard with like the beat pads to see, just play around, see what I could do. I like to freestyle. I've always been around music. I used to be the CD guy. So let's see what happens. Let's just play around with some music, make some beats. Some thoughts, some music is always going around in my head. So along with all the random thoughts, there are just beats going along with it, the soundtrack, to life. So
soundtrack to your life. JP's working on that. I am, I'm working with my clients, helping them out here. Basically, what I'm doing with him is what I do with them. So if you ever wonder what am I doing, this is it. Like I'm literally showing it to you right now. You can see it. But I am also. I'm getting back into a studio. I had this studio I've been meaning to check out, a pole dancing studio. So we're gonna get back on that once a week. And tomorrow we're doing a boxing class together.
We are going boxing.
We're going boxing tomorrow. So maybe we'll show y'all a little bit about how that goes down.
Footage to remember. You remember to do that.
I remember to do that. We'll capture a little bit to show you how boxing goes. That's tomorrow. In our next video, we're gonna talk about what do we do besides watching the news. And outside of that, let us know if you want to see any more of this. JP and I are really committed to doing these regularly. So if you have more things that you want us to talk about, let us know in the comments. And
we're talking about this stuff anyway.
We are.
Share with everybody.
We are. And you know what? It is so beautiful to see him get vulnerable. Like, this is new. First of all, calm down, relax. My breast's already trying to come out. I don't know what's going on.
It's like, pop out.
Stupid. But it's really a fun journey to experience with you as your partner. And if you want to be able to have this conversation with your partner, hit me up. There might be a way I can show you how to do this with your own spouse, or we can work with y'all and help you through your journey. That's something that we are low-key working on. So, we will see y'all next time.
All right.
Bye. Are you closing that out?
I was. You gonna do it now.
I'm doing it.
Do it.